Panthers quarterback Bryce Young finished his sophomore season strong, throwing for 2,104 yards, 15 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions over the final 10 games of the season. He also led the Panthers to a respectable 4-6 mark in that emergent run as Carolina finished the season 5-12. Joined now by the quarterback of those Carolina Panthers, Bryce Young. Bryce, first of all, thanks for joining us today. I got to say, great finish to the season in 2024 for you. What do you credit that successful surge to?
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me on. I think for me and just for us as a team, it was just kind of growing into us and our identity. It was a new staff. There's been a lot of movement that was there, and for us, we kind of had to find our footing. It was for me individually, it was a new system, so being able to have time to develop in that and be able to learn and grow from it, and us as an offense be able to embrace that system and make it our own. It was great to kind of feel like we were moving in the right direction, still are, and now in the offseason, it's on us to continue that momentum, make sure we're still building, and make sure we carry that into next year.
It's got to be tricky, too, going from a starter to a backup to a starter again. How did you navigate that?
Yeah, just trying to trust God and do everything I can to be consistent in my process, regardless of what my circumstances were. I'm grateful for just be where I'm at, and for me, it was just a very new, different experience for me. But I tried to do everything I could to be consistent, and I think that I was able to be proud of that. And again, I'm grateful for where I'm at now.
Yeah, and we hear a lot about the value of having a veteran presence in that quarterback room. What did you learn from Andy Dalton and your time working with him? I know Dalton will be back this year as well.
Yeah, me and Andy are super close. I'm super grateful to have him around and have someone who's done everything at the highest level, has seen so much, has so much experience, and him just being able to be so willing to share, so willing to help me to answer every question I may have, to make sure I know the ins and outs of the business and the league, especially early on when I first got to the NFL. That's something that I'm super grateful for, that I lean on a lot, and just having a good vet there that you can learn from and you can talk to anything about. It's super beneficial for me as a young guy.
Yeah. Now, you mentioned the value of the consistency. I mean, you guys are entering this season with the same head coach, the same GM, and the same starting quarterback for the first time since 2019. How important is that continuity as you guys build towards something?
Yeah, it's huge. It's something that I'm grateful to be a part of now. This kind of being the first time in my, my career, that being the case. We're just really excited about it as an organization, as a team, knowing that, it's going to be a lot of similar guys, a lot of familiar faces. We're going to have time to build, to grow, to accomplish the goals that we set for ourselves. So like you said, just having that continuity for us to be able to keep building, it's definitely a luxury. So I'm glad that we have it, and now it's on us to make sure that we execute with it.
And that strong finish to the 2024 season, something to build off of as well. What are your expectations for the Panthers in 2025 and for yourself this upcoming season?
Yeah, just to be the best version of ourselves. We have work to do. We have to continue to keep building, keep growing. Obviously, the team is still developing. Obviously, there's a lot of movement in free agency, and then obviously there's a draft too. In that gray area where you're still kind of, you're still finalizing the team. Obviously, that's a process, but for the guys that are there now and whatever the landscape looks like in the future, for us, we just have to make sure that we're pushing ourselves, being the best version we can be, being consistent, growing and playing for each other. And I'm super grateful to be a part of this, the team and the locker room that supports each other and has each other's backs. And we all want to take that challenge to make the next step, to continue to build on what we did at the end of last year, and understand what we're capable of, but also understand that doesn't entitle us to anything this upcoming year. So it's just making sure we have that mindset and we can continue to build. I think that's really the mindset we have right now.
All right, Bryce, now the NFL draft is 3 weeks away. As a former #1 overall pick yourself, if a quarterback goes #1 overall this year, what advice would you give him?
Yeah, I mean, the guys in the draft this year, I have a ton of respect for them. A lot of talent coming up, and especially for the quarterbacks, they've gotten where they're at on their own. They they know what to do. They have experience, maybe not be at the NFL level, but just through their lives. But just to keep that, to hold on to all the stuff that's got them there, to continue to be who they are, and obviously, you want to find that within the parameters of whatever system and team you go to, but just to hold on to who you are, understand what got you there, and if you're taken for that at that position, and if you're taking it at that time, it's for a reason, and just to embrace that.
Now, I know one of the quarterbacks getting a lot of buzz in draft season, another Alabama quarterback, much like yourself, Jalen Milroe. As the draft nears, have you been in touch with him at all through the pre-draft process, or what do you think of Milroe and what he'll bring to an NFL team?
Yeah, I've talked to him a good amount. Just saw him recently, and obviously the player that he is, how dynamic he is, what he can bring to an offense. From him being able to expand a playbook, really put defenses in a bind with what he can do, both throwing and passing, is one of the huge things that jumps off the sheets. But the stuff that people don't really get to see outside of just the stat sheet is just how great of a leader he is. He's someone that commands a locker room, that commands a team. That even when he wasn't starting, when I was there, everyone respected him. Everyone knew that he was going to be the guy. And then having a lot of teammates and being around while he was the guy, him being the leader of that team, everyone wanting to play for him, want to be at their best for him. He's someone who's a winner, who believes in winning, does all the little things to make sure that he's going to be successful, and I know he'll continue to do that at the next level. And the habits he has, the work ethic he has, on top of all the stuff that he brings on the field, which is a ton. I'm excited for him to get his opportunity, get his chance to the next level, and I'm excited to watch him. I've always been a huge fan of his, watching him grow from when he got there and have the success I knew he would have at the college level, and I'm excited for him to do the same at the NFL level.
Now, speaking of the NFL draft, our Pete Prisco and Ryan Wilson, they've got their mock drafts out right now. They've got the Panthers taking a defensive player at 8. But don't you think your team should grab maybe a young offensive weapon for you? What do you think?
Well, I trust Dan, our GM, and Coach Canales. They're going to do what's best for the team. At the end of the day, I want to win games. That's all we want to do. So, whatever it is they feel like is best, I know they'll make the right decision.
That's smart, man. That's a QB1 answer. I respect it right now. Now, Bryce, I know you're out in California right now. The Young Nine Foundation hosting a few camps this week, including one at your alma mater at Mater Dei on Sunday. How great is it to get back to the place that you grew up playing football and see that younger generation walking into that building saying, hey, I'm now a starting quarterback in the NFL?
Yeah, I'm super grateful for the opportunity. This is our second year doing it, and last year just being able to have that opportunity to connect with the youth, to be back home, and be able to put on a camp there. It's something that I'm so grateful for. This year this year at the Rose Bowl, back in my home city in Pasadena. That one is obviously it's super special, just being back home and part of the community, and then all that the community's been through this year with the fires and all that's transpired. Want to be a force for good and bring some positivity. Despite all that as a community we've been going through, and there's such resilient and strong people that have just had to deal with stuff that is unprecedented for us, and to have this in the community now really means a lot. And then going back to my high school at Mater Dei, having one out there on Sunday is, again, I'm super grateful for them, for the program, for being able to give back, and just being able to again be around the kids, talk to them, watch them have fun. It's a blessing for me.
Yeah. Now, in the Young Nine mission statement, it says, the Young Nine Foundation is committed to a world where every young person has access to the tools and support they need to prioritize their mental health and thrive in all aspects of their lives. Why is mental health such an important aspect for you to focus on with your foundation?
Yeah, for me, mental health is something that's always been important. And I think it's something that really connects and unifies us all. Me being an athlete, regardless of if it's another athlete or if it's someone that has nothing to do with athletics, whatever walk of life you're in, wherever you're from, mental health is something that, we all have our struggles with, we all have to deal with, we all have to manage. And I feel like it's something that's so important to help allow you to succeed and be happy in life, whatever those goals may be. So for me, just being able to use my platform um, to destigmatize and have more conversations. And, for us as a foundation, we want to be able to appeal and reach all groups, but especially the youth. I feel like the more that you can have conversations and be aware of your mental health at a younger age, the more that, you're able to be comfortable dealing with it, and being able to be comfortable to have strategies to put yourself in the best situations to deal with that going forward. Because again, it's something that, regardless of what you're doing, your walk of life is prevalent in all of our lives. So I'm super grateful for the foundation, for the team we have over there, and I'm grateful for us to be able to be interacting with the youth this weekend.
Carolina Panthers quarterback Bryce Young, thanks so much for the time. Wishing you success with the foundation, the camps, the offseason, and the season ahead.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. That's not how you start, but it's how you finish. Bryce Young is one of just 4 quarterbacks to throw 10 or more touchdowns and no interceptions in the final 3 games of the season since 2000, joining Drew Brees, Kirk Cousins, and Peyton Manning. Quite the list right there.